Welcome back to the University of Life and this introduction to our brand new course, The Power of Identity. This is a topic that I have been thinking about literally for decades. Even back in high school, I remember being very aware that this was a potentially incredibly empowering concept, and I knew I was missing something that could make my life even more fabulous. Several years ago, I taught a class down at the university, my favorite class I've ever taught. It was Intro to Literature. And not only did we read half a dozen books from around the world and have these great discussions. Seriously, I'd walk in at the beginning of the class and we'd talk for 2.5 hours, and I'd say, all right, see you Wednesday. And everyone would look around surprised, like, what, the time's already gone? It was so fascinating. And the main reason why is I think the best literature classes involve not only the reading itself, but they also overlay some kind of topic, some theme that you can apply to yourself and teach you how to really extract the greatest meaning and pleasure and value out of reading. So the topic we used there was identity. Who are you? How did you become that? And what can you do about it? Because let's face it, identity is not set in stone. So during that course and during this one that you'll find here free online at uoflife.com/identity and this YouTube channel, be sure and subscribe, by the way, so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. We'll talk about the 10 layers of identity. Now, I admit that they're somewhat arbitrary slices, but they're extremely useful and interesting, and we'll cover some of the things like the thought from the last 2 centuries of thought and beyond about who you are. And for example, we'll start with kind of the more general topics like demographics, male, female, age, nationality, race, and how these things impact your sense of self. Because your sense of self is really what matters. I mean, the objective truth about who you are, your height, your weight, those matter, and you have some control over it, but your sense of self and your self-value and your confidence and what you can become, that's really where the money is, because my focus on this is to empower you. I want to teach you self-actualization by becoming more aware of all the good stuff in you, and I promise you're going to find things that you probably hadn't even thought of. So we'll start with kind of some of the more general things and talk about, sometimes they're shallow and they're not that significant. Sometimes they really say a lot about who you are, like the clothes you wear. Do you just dress that way because that's in fashion, or because it's practical, or is it because you're really comfortable with that and it speaks to your personality, how formal or casual, how practical or warm or cuddly or cute or whatever they happen to be. So there's just one example, and we'll drop down through personality. We'll talk about the 4 standards of human existence, your body and how that influences your sense of self, your mind, your thoughts, that's a big one, your emotions, which are largely created by your body and mind, and your spirit and your potential and all these things and what you could be. So it's going to be a great class. It's exciting. I'm glad to have you along. Like I said, subscribe, and we'll be back with all kinds of mini lectures and insights and class discussions and everything. So until next time, live smart, live happy.